Hey guys, welcome back to the Rebel Show. I'm Bree Mesquit, and today we have a really awesome, jam-packed episode for you guys. If you've been following along for any amount of time, then you know we just wrapped up our 10-part series all about building your clientele. So in today's episode, we actually recapped it for you to make it a little bit more digestible. This is one that's definitely worth saving, coming back to. Get a pen and paper. You want to be taking notes. We're going to share with you all the key points from the full 10-part series on how to build your clientele. So keep watching.
Welcome to the Rebel Show, the podcast for estheticians who want to grow their business, master social media, and perfect their waxing technique. I'm Bree Mesquit, esthetician, business coach, and founder of Rebel Wax and First to Market Wax Pads. I built a 6-figure clientele, a 7-figure brand, and have trained over 15,000 waxers through my in-person and online courses. Are you struggling to book clients or market yourself? You're in the right place. Each week, I bring real business strategies, waxing education, and no BS advice to help you grow. Let's get into it. How do we develop our skills? So hands-on practice is always going to come first and foremost. So if you are watching this, you're probably maybe a student esthetician, maybe you're a newly graduated esthetician, maybe you have been an esthetician for a little while, but you're looking to go solo. One of the best things to do though, if you are a student, is start practicing this in school. Like if you kind of have a general thought of which direction you want to go with your career, meaning like what services you're really interested in and you want to be performing, then start practicing as much of that as possible in school. Utilize my free 6-week course. So watch that and then put it into practice in school. You have models there. You have other students there in school available to you. You guys have clients coming in, so you can invite friends and family. So you want to get as much hands-on practice as possible, but you want to be practicing correct technique. So this is why I highly recommend, if you have not checked out my free 6-week course, get enrolled, start working through that, because we don't want to break bad habits. When I was hiring for my waxing studio, I actually ended up going and hiring a brand new, she was a 3-year esthetician, but brand new to waxing, because when I was going through the interview process and I was going through the, working interview portion, so they had there was a process to get to that point. Once I had them in the treatment room performing services, watching, I'm like, people who had 5 years plus experience, it was almost harder for me because I had to break so many bad habits. But those, the newer esthetician who had never had waxing experience, she was just like fresh. I could build that solid foundation, make sure she was practicing the correct technique. So with that, I just want you guys to be sure that you're getting the correct training, and it can be virtual, but you want to be practicing the correct technique. So first is going to be hands-on 100%. Okay, how do we get hands-on experience? Maybe you're not in school, you're already graduated, and you need to get some hands-on experience. What I recommend is putting out a model call. So you can post on like a local Facebook group or something, offering, and be transparent. Don't be trying to act like this is something that it isn't. Literally put out there, in exchange for me being able to practice XYZ service, I'm offering it for free. Like, don't try to say that you're an expert or anything, and then, because again, this can build like a really negative reputation, and it's really hard to come back from. So put out a free model call. Reaching out to friends and family. That's going to be huge as well, because they will give you grace and they know you're practicing. And in return, they're going to receive a great service as well, hopefully. Things happen, but that's okay. That's why you want to work through these things with friends and family. Also going to like a hands-on course. So I offer hands-on courses. I have one scheduled. It's coming up soon. So by the time you guys hear this, it'll be too late for our March date, but I do hands-on classes in Orange County. We have many trade shows we're going to be going to where I'm going to be at least doing a live demo. You won't necessarily get the hands-on portion there, but I also train here in Oregon. So I'm in Bend, Oregon. So if you are nearby or willing to travel, which I highly recommend, it is worth the investment, then reach out to me on Instagram and we can set up a group training. So what I usually do is someone reaches out, they're interested, I find a date that works, and then I'll go ahead and post and allow for others to join us as well. And I like to keep my class sizes relatively small so you guys get a lot of one-on-one. Or if it's not with me, find someone local and do a hands-on training with them as well. Just make sure that you're really vetting this person and make sure that they have done the thing that you are looking to do. I see too many people just hopping on the training wagon like way too soon when they haven't necessarily had the experience themselves. So just make sure that you're doing your research. But I highly, highly recommend getting hands-on training. There are some key elements to professionalism and just like creating a professional environment and just the overall client experience. So it's going to start with your booking process and your communication process. So first, let's talk about booking, having online booking. So clients should be able to book with you the moment they see your page, like, I like this girl, I want to book with her. You want to remove as many hurdles as possible. It's like, I always train like when we're at trade shows and stuff with sales, the moment you get yes to the sale, shut up. Like, you just be quiet. Like, they said yes, now give them what they want. So this is the same thing. They have said yes, and now give them what they want. They want to book. So you need to have online booking, you guys. Like, the going back and forth DMs and all that, like, can it be done? Yes. But we also want to create systems and automation from the very beginning and build that foundation. So that's what this series is all about, is like building the foundation, and then we're going to get into the growth stage of business. But there's different stages of business. We want to create the foundation in order to allow the growth to happen without systems completely breaking. For example, when you have only 5 clients to start, DMing back and forth, texting back and forth, you can do it. It's doable with 5 clients. But if your goal, and I think most of your guys' goal, if you're watching this, you're probably a solo esthetician thinking about going solo, maybe newly solo, maybe even you've been solo for a little bit and you're looking to grow. Most of your goal, I would assume, is to be able to make this a full-time job for you, your full-time career, and be able to make a thriving income. Well, with that comes growth and more clients. Well, if you have 50 clients, it's no longer like plausible for you to be able to be DMing back and forth in order to book, to be texting back and forth in order to book, to get an online booking. I don't care who you use, get online booking, okay? That's going to be the first step of just making this a professional business. Like, this isn't a hobby. Like, if you treat it like a hobby, then you're going to be paid like a hobby. If you want this to be your career, you need to take it seriously, okay? So online booking, confirmation reminders and texts. Clients want, as soon as they book, they need to have that confirmation so they're not wondering, like, did my appointment come through? Like, did they receive it? Then they're not texting you, creating more admin work for you, like making sure, did you receive my appointment? Do I have an appointment? Like, you need those confirmation and reminder texts too. Reminder texts are so important. People get busy. Sometimes when they book it, they forget to put it on their calendar. So reminder texts are important as well. And again, it just makes them view your business as more professional and well ran, and it sets expectations up for them that you are a pro and you know what you're doing. So those confirmation texts and reminders are really, really, really important, which again, why I love Glass Genius, or just really pretty much all online booking systems have those built in to their system. So super important. Again, you need online booking, okay? I just don't feel like there's a really solid way around that. Hey there, I hope you're enjoying this episode so far. For those of you who are already using and loving Rebel Wax in your treatment room, I wanted to provide you with the opportunity to save an additional 10% on top of the 10% we already give for our subscribe and save customers. If you would like to never worry about inventory issues again, then head to our website, lashandwaxoc.com. Use the code THERebelShow, all one word, to save an additional 10% off for a total of 20% off your first subscribe and save. Now back to the show. How do we go about choosing the right services? So there's kind of 2 groups of people here. We have our brand new, and you're trying to figure out like what to start with to begin with, okay? There's that. And then there's those of you who already have your business established, you're doing well, but you're looking for growth. And oftentimes I see people wanting to add more services to promote that growth rather than focusing on what's already working. So I actually recently did an Instagram poll and asked people, like, what are you struggling the most with currently? A lot of people said growth and figuring out what services to add to grow. A lot of times in order to grow, it's not about doing new, it's about doing more of what's already working. So there's a framework that I worked through that I learned from Alex and Layla when I went to their headquarters in Vegas. And they say there's either more, better, or new, and it goes in that order. So when you're looking to grow, you first want to look at what's already working that I can do more of. So for example, if you're doing Brazilians and it's working, people are loving you, they love the service, they're telling their friends, then how are you able to do more of that? It might be you need to put out more posts about it and be promoting it more on your Instagram. Maybe you need to find other avenues to be able to promote. Maybe you need to start a referral program to get more people to actively be telling people about your Brazilian service. Okay, so there's more. Then there's better. How can you improve upon what you're already doing? Maybe you have, your services you're offering, but you can add something better to it, make the overall client experience even better. And then lastly, the last thing we look at is adding new, okay? We really want to focus on the more, the higher volume, and then the better, improving upon it. You are trying to figure out what service to offer to begin with. Say you're brand new, or even if you're looking to add, you want to ask yourself, what are you naturally good at? So if you're in school or maybe you're working under someone and you're offering different services, and ask yourself, like, what are you naturally really good at? What are you drawn to? What do you look forward to? Okay, I know we've all had those moments of looking at our schedule, whether you're in school or you're working under someone, you look at your schedule and there's things that excite you that you're looking forward to performing, and there's things that make you super anxious and you're like dreading it. We want to try to cut out the dread, okay? Clients are going to feel it when you are really enthusiastic and excited about it. It's going to be shown through the service and like add to the overall client experience as well. So what comes naturally, what's easiest for you? Doesn't mean that there's not still room for improvement with your technique, but if you have that like natural passion for it, that's the first step, and we want to build off of that, okay? What do you feel the most confident in your technique? So this is going to be more for someone who already has an established business and is offering multiple services, and you're wanting to really maybe cut some things out, because again, sometimes to do more, we have to actually do less. This is something I'm actively really, really working through with myself and my business right now. Every day I'm cutting things out of my schedule and working on delegating more things instead of me trying to do it all. You guys are going to be in a little bit of a different position right now where your cutting is maybe cutting of services. Maybe it's cutting of admin tasks, and you need to automate things by having online booking, by have automated reminders. Okay, I'm getting a little off track, but you want to remove before adding. Why do we even need to build a personal brand or a brand online at all? I'm a big advocate now for building a personal brand. So let's kind of go over that first. What's a personal brand versus a business brand? So a personal brand is all going to be under you, your name. And this is something that you'll be able to carry on with you for life, regardless of what avenue you go down. Now, with your personal brand, you can still niche down and still specialize. So a lot of you follow like this channel, you're following me, Brie Mesquit, right? I very much target estheticians, waxers specifically, and teach you guys all about building your clientele, building a successful waxing business. I teach waxing technique. So even though it's under my personal brand of Brie Mesquit, it's still very niche down and to a specific audience. Now, a business brand is going to be under your business name. So then you can see that I also have my Instagram page, Flash and Wax OC, which is all our product focused stuff. So you have to decide kind of like, where do you want to build? Now, I really like the personal branding because, like I said, it follows you. So say, down the line, I end up, opening up a gym or something. And if I did, it would most definitely be pink. Anyways, if I open up a gym, then my personal brand, I've already built like, know, trust. I've built an audience. I'm more likely to be able to succeed in that business as well because I've built an audience that like, knows, and trusts and follows me. So for your business specifically, I would recommend at minimum, if you want to create more of your business page, having your name integrated into that as well, because people buy from people rather than just from a business. So I would really recommend that. This is thinking long-term and long-term growth. I can't tell you how many opportunities. Some of them I'm going to be able to share with you guys soon. I think we're getting close. We should be pretty close within a couple weeks by the time you guys see this episode. But I'll be able to share some of the opportunities that have been able to open up for me still within the industry, but by building my personal brand, okay? But the key with this, okay? First of all, I'm sorry to say, but in today's day and age, I really feel like a non-negotiable, maybe that's a little bit too strong, but it is highly, highly, highly encouraged for you guys to start building a presence online. So that's what we're going to be covering today. It's really important too that you show up as you. You can't have some different persona or personality online versus then you show up in person with people and they meet you and they're like, this isn't lining up. First of all, you're going to create so much extra work, pressure, and anxiety for yourself where you're going to end up you'll hate it. And the key here is that we want to build sustainability and consistency with this. I started my brand in 2017. It's 2025. I'm still going at it, and it's definitely serving me really, really well. So it's all about that long game and consistency and sustainability. And the only way to do that is if you are truly showing up as you and showing up authentically. Reviews, they are so huge. It may not be the funnel or the lead or the way that people initially find you, but it is the way to get them to take the action of booking with you, okay? So it is part of the overall client journey and experience, the journey from discovering you and then getting them into your treatment room. So reviews are really, really, really important. Every time I have a new client, I always ask them, like, where'd you find me? Usually it's like Instagram or Google, and then or a friend referred them. But then they usually follow up with, and I read your reviews on Google or on your booking site or wherever, or I saw your reviews. We also want to be posting our reviews onto our social media, but I'm going to get into that. So I'm going to share with you guys exactly how to utilize reviews from start to finish, okay? But I want to start with teaching you this. It's something I've learned not super recently now, but it's crucial for business and growing your business. Proof over promise, okay? So what's this mean? So promise is us sitting here online saying, hey, I can teach you how to wax, okay? I have perfected my technique. I can help you perfect your technique. I'm really good at waxing. Like, trust me, just come book a hands-on class with me. So that would be my promise. I'm trying to promise you something. But then versus proof, where I have student testimonies. I have students who have taken my hands-on class, giving their review, giving their testimony of how great they thought the class was, what they learned, the confidence that they built. So for you guys, your proof is going to look like your client reviews, your client testimonies. Hey, even better if you guys can get clients that are comfortable with like doing a little selfie review for you, maybe when they get to their car or something, so they have like some privacy and it's not all awkward, but those perform the best. But written reviews are awesome as well. So that is what I want you to have like as kind of a key takeaway is proof always outperforms promise, all right? So we want to gain as much of it as possible. Oh, like with my course too, that's what I was going to say. It's like being able to show how many students have completed my online course. So for you to be able to share how many clients too that you've serviced and how many, are ongoing long-standing clients of yours, and then being able to see their reviews as well is going to be huge. So when you're new and you don't have like a reputation yet, you're still building your online presence like what we talked about last week. Reviews are going to help with credibility. Clients really trust other clients. Like how often do maybe you're looking at purchasing something new, like I don't know, a hair straightener. I don't know why that popped in my head, but you're in the market for a new hair straightener. Then you go online and you're looking at the hair straighteners and you're looking at the reviews. I know you do it. We all do it. We all look at the reviews. So our goal is quantity and quality at the same time. I'd rather you have less reviews and they're better quality than like more and they're all crap. But the ideal is to gain quantity and quality reviews from people, okay? So clients really trust other clients, just like we as consumers of things a lot, way too much. We're like over consumers. We trust other customers as well. We've now gotten through the foundational stuff and have headed into some of the marketing ourselves. This is just another way to up level your marketing and your promotion of your business. So instead of having to do paid ads or anything like that, this is a great way to have other people, especially other people that already have our ideal audience or clientele, to start talking about us. So a little backstory for how I even I think everyone kind of knows about collabs and trades, but how it really helped me in my business was when I was in Newport, I had someone reach out to me. She was a hairstylist and she was talking about how she's been really disappointed with her lash artist that she was going to. She had so much damage. It was absolutely insane. If I can find a picture, I'll show you guys. But anyway, she came to me and I set expectations super realistically. And I think she really appreciated that. I told her, I was like, look, this is going to be a process. So if you trust me through the process, and I explained it in a way that she would understand too. What if someone came to you with black box dye on their hair and wanted to go platinum blonde? You would have this same conversation with them. So I kind of went through, it's going to be a process. We need to allow her natural lashes to grow, blah, blah, blah. The point of this is that I set realistic expectations and I built major trust with her. Then she trusted me through the process. We went through a 3-month lash rehab and she was so excited because her natural lashes grew back and she had the set that she wanted. Now, we did not achieve that to begin with, but we eventually got there, and I just built major likability with her and trust, because that's what it's all about, right? Building that know, trust factor. So I was able to build that with her. Then she started telling all her clients. This client alone, and this is playing that long game, you guys. When she first approached me, she kind of did it in a way that a lot of people, I could see it turning them off from even wanting her as a client at all. She was just really frustrated with her situation. And I feel like some people might have taken that personally, but I understood and I wanted to help her through this process. I never had in mind of like, oh, this lady's going to help build 80% of my clientele. I just make sure I treat every single person that comes into my business like they are freaking Queen. What's that lady? Elizabeth? Is it Queen Elizabeth? Whatever, a queen, okay? Insert queen, whichever one you like. Anyways, I make sure that they're all treated equally, and it majorly paid off in the long run because she started telling all her clients, and literally, I'm not joking when I say she helped build about 80% of my clientele. So first of all, how do we find these people to begin with? I got lucky that she came to me. So just like we talked about in episode 4 of building your online presence, that's how she found me. So now you guys can see each step, they build on each other and they're really, really important. But anyways, if you don't have someone coming to you, how can you go out and seek other beauty professionals with non-competing services so that it can help build your clientele as well and increase the amount of referrals that you're receiving? One of the ways you can find these people is, first of all, let's nail down who it is that we're looking for. So like I said earlier, non-competing services, right? So if you are a waxer, you're going to want to look for maybe a nail tech, a hairstylist, a lash artist, a massage therapist, an esthetician focusing on facials, anyone that has your clientele. Obviously clients that are going to them enjoy beauty services, right? They enjoy taking care of themselves. It's important to them. So they have your potential future clients already in their treatment rooms, in their chair. So those are the people I would seek after. What you can do, there's a couple different things. You can either, first of all, I would start with the service providers that you personally already get services done yourself. So if you get your lashes done, if you get your hair done, ask your hairstylist, hey, I'd love to offer a free service to you. And all I ask is for an honest review. That's it. We're not asking them to refer any of their clients yet. They need to first experience the service with you and build that trust and know that they can be confident in referring their clients to you because they know that you're going to give an exceptional, not only service, but experience as well. And you're going to treat their clients well. So this is why consistency with your client experience is really, really important. And why I started off with episode number 1 being all about mastering your technique. You can have people coming in all day long, but if you are not really, really great at what you do, it's going to be hard to retain them. So we need to be focusing on that. Again, I know I've said it, but we need to go in steps. There's no skipping steps here, okay? So that's what I would start off with first, is whoever is your current service providers for yourself, go ahead and offer them a free service. Worth it. Long game, you guys. We're playing long game. All right, so the goal of this episode is to strategically teach you guys how to utilize promotions and discounts without it hurting your business. So in this episode, I'm going to cover how to structure your promotions and discounts, when to offer them, and then how to create urgency without sounding desperate and seeming like you are just like reaching and grabbing for anything to try to get some clients in. So let's get into it. Okay, so I have to say, when I first went solo and I would look at my books at the beginning of the week, I would panic and be like, oh my gosh, I have no one on my books. I better throw out some sort of promotion, do some sale of some sort. So that was a big mistake, because what I saw start to happen, because I did that for quite some time, and I'm sure a lot of you have done the same thing as well. I started to do this way too often, and I actually trained my clients to wait for that sale, wait for that promotion, and no one was willing to pay full price, which was like a huge problem when I looked at my overall revenue, because oftentimes when we're new as well, we already are undercutting and underpricing ourselves at the same time. So doing that and doing the promotions and discounts like on a weekly, bi-weekly even, or even monthly basis is way too much. So let's first talk about when to offer promotions and then how to structure them as well. Okay, the first promotion and discount that I highly, highly recommend you guys having, and it's an always thing, is a new client promo. So this has worked really, really well for me. It's not a coincidence that the major chain waxing centers use this strategy as well, because that's exactly what it is. It is a strategy and it works. So what my new client promotion is either a free brow wax, a 50% off Brazilian, or a free underarm wax. So if you guys have this promotion, the goal of this is to reduce any risk factors for a new client to actually book with you. And then you have to absolutely wow them and create an amazing experience. This is why, again, part 1 of this series was all about mastering your technique. Mastering your technique needs to be your first focus, okay? So incredibly important. Do not skip steps. Go through all of these episodes in order. So the whole point of this is to, first of all, get these new clients in and then convert them into long-term clients. So every Thursday I do a demo video or just like some sort of lesson outside of the podcast. And on one of those Thursday videos, I talked about packages and memberships. So that's going to be something that you guys can have available to these new clients as well, to create that like scarcity and urgency. And then it helps to get them in at least another 3 times with you, and then that's when you got them locked in. It takes on average 3 to 4 services for a new client to decide that this is who I'm going to continue to go with, and you're going to create a long-term client. We providing excellent customer service, client retention. And one of the things that I was telling them that I know really struck a chord with them was it is all about how you make people feel. Now, I say this with caution, but I would even say that how you make people feel is even more important than your technique. I know. I said it, but it's true. If you make your people leave feeling uplifted, encouraged, seen, heard, understood, like loved and cared for, they will stick around even if you're still working and perfecting your technique, you guys. And I've seen and experienced this firsthand myself. When I was at European Wax Center and I would have a brow on my schedule, I would be terrified because I was really terrified of brows. Brows are a thing. They're on people's faces. You can see them. So I would just be honest with people and be like, look, I am still gaining confidence with brows. I'm going to play it super conservative. I'd rather you go home upset that you have too much hair left behind than the other way around. And I'm going to do a lot of cleanup with using my tweezers. Now, if you want in the future, I highly recommend Jessica. I always use the name Jessica. I don't know. I have to stick with it. It's just a thing now. So anyways, I recommend her. She's a master of brows. Now, I left them feeling, first of all, so they trusted me and they felt so cared for that I cared enough to kind of diminish myself in order to make sure that they are getting the best possible service, you guys. It built so much trust that they stuck with me, even though they knew, because I told them that Jessica could do it a lot better. But I left them feeling really, really great and trusting me, liking me, and then over time you get to know, because that's what you get to know your customers, they get to know you. And that's what we're always aiming for, is the like, know, trust factor. So focus on how you make people feel each and every single time they come in. You got to stay consistent with this, and you got to stay consistent with this no matter who it is in your treatment room. I do not want you guys treating the influencers better than you treat the everyday, I don't know what, I was going to say Joe Schmo. That definitely does not fit here. I don't know, Jane Doe. I'm getting on a whole. You guys know what I mean. I need you to treat every single person that walks through that door the same way and with just excellent customer service. How do we engage in the community? Why is this important? Again, I kind of already mentioned it, but it's further building brand awareness and building relationships with people. Now, these people that you're coming in contact with, whatever it is you're doing, it could be maybe you guys go to church on Sundays and maybe you join exterior groups in that. Usually they have small groups. Maybe like with us, we love archery. We used to be a part of an archery club. Meetup groups. You could totally if you have a dachshund, actually, this was one of the things I did do. I had a dachshund and I did fly ball with him. So I would meet at the park twice a week with a group of people. We all had, well, actually, it wasn't just dachshunds, but I had my dachshund, they had their dogs, and we did fly ball together. So why is this important? It is, again, further growing your brand awareness, building relationships with people. Is just making you visible, okay? Now, the people that you're coming in contact with during these activities aren't necessarily going to be your clients, but at some point as you're building relationships with them, you're going to talk about your business and you're going to keep yourself top of mind if they ever go out into their daily lives and the waxing, lashes, hair, whatever comes up. They're like, hey, actually, I do fly ball with this girl. She's super sweet. I've gotten to know her over the past couple weeks. You should go check her out. So it's really important that you choose activities and do things that you actually enjoy, because this is not just like an overnight. You're going to go from 0 to 20 clients overnight. This is not hard self-promotion. This again is about further building awareness and just recognition and visibility of yourself and your business, because you are your brand, you are your business, you're representing your business when you are out in the community. Ideally, you could try to find some groups that already have your ideal clients. So a good example could be I know locally right now, there's a Friday night 8-week self-defense program going on. That's going to be most likely, actually it's for women, so it's going to be a lot of women there, right? That would be a smart thing to join. If you're kind of already have an interest in that, or you think it's a smart idea to learn some self-defense, especially because now you're in business solo, you never know, it's best to equip yourself. Maybe you go join something like that. So if you can mix something that you're passionate about and already enjoy doing with it being a group of people who have a higher likelihood of actually becoming a client of yours, then that's the winning recipe. I've been part of many women's groups where we go do different activities. Maybe one week we're kayaking, then it's paddleboarding, and then it's, floating the river or whatever. Just, again, it's building relationships, authentic relationships with people. People buy from people more than they buy from businesses. So again, you represent your brand. It can be, if you have kids, even things like signing your kids up for extracurriculars, and when you go to practices or you go to their meets or you go to their games, don't be that mom with her arms crossed in the corner by herself. Communicate with people, build relationships, be genuinely interested in other people. You want to be interested more than you want to be interesting, meaning you want to make it about other people. It goes back to what I was talking about in last week's episode of it's all about how you make people feel. So you got to keep in mind, I repeat myself because it's important when you're doing anything, okay, on your just daily life, you're representing your brand. So enroll your kids in jiu-jitsu or soccer or whatever they're interested in, and then communicate and build relationships with the other parents. This is going to help directly build your business. I feel like this episode will probably, out of all of them, you guys are gonna be like, man, this doesn't matter. It matters. It really does. And it's just another tool. It's another way when you can put 10 moving parts all together and be doing all of them, you're going to build a really well-oiled machine and a thriving business. So I know this one can seem boring or unnecessary, but don't skip on this, okay? This was a really great way for me to build my business personally, especially when I was in Orange County and very active in the community. Okay, guys, referrals. So let's get into it. This was a huge way for me to be able to build my clientele when I was in the treatment room. So you probably have seen, how many times have you guys, maybe you posted or someone else has posted, hey, how are you guys building your clientele? What's the number one source of you guys building your clientele? usually you'll hear word of mouth or referrals. So super important. And I know it can be pretty daunting when you first get started. If you guys don't have a ton of clients up front, it can be difficult. You're like, how do I get people to tell other people about me? So I'm going to give you guys the step-by-step steps to take. I'm going to give you guys the steps to take to make this not feel weird, to make it just feel natural and organic, not pushy, not salesy, not desperate. All right. First, let's cover though, why is this important? So this is what we call social proof. So you want it, there's a saying of proof over promise. So a promise is you telling other people what you promise to provide, what you excel at, and to book an appointment with you and to trust you. You're telling people they can trust you. Now, proof is other people saying you can trust her. She provides a great service. You should go book with her. Proof always holds more weight than promise. Okay. So proof over promise. So referrals, word of mouth, that is proof. Okay. It's other people promoting your brand, your business for you. All right. A couple of little points to make here is a lot of people won't really think about this unless you ask them. You have to remember, like, our business is top of mind for us because it's very close to us. It's very personal to us. It's our baby. We think about it 24/7. Other people, the moment that they step outside of your salon, outside of your treatment room, and they go back to their daily lives, they may have every intention to start spreading the word for you. But once they leave, then laundry list of things to do, laundry, dishes, kids, like life, right? It gets in the way and they have their own things that they're focused on. So it's not realistic for us to think that our business is top of mind for every single one of our clients. So we need to keep it top of mind. So how can we do that? One of the ways is make sure that this is in your regular posting schedule, asking for referrals, but also incentifying for referrals. So one of my favorite things to have is a referral program. So highly recommend having a referral program and setting one up for yourself if you don't already have one. So what I do is send me 3, get 1 free. So if someone sends me 3 clients that books a Brazilian each, then she earns a free Brazilian. So how do you track these things? I love Gloss Genius. You guys are sick of me talking about them, but I love it because this is another feature that they have available. They automatically ask your client when they book for where they heard of you, either Google, social media. They ask specifically which social media, Instagram, TikTok, or referral. And then they ask them to input the client's name. So what I do is when we see that, then we just write it down. So we have to keep track or put it in their client note, the client that they referred and the date that client came in. So it needs to be that this client that they referred actually received a service and paid for the service before they get written down as a referral, and it credits towards that buy 3, get 1 for free. But that's how I do that, and it really does help to incentivize people to actually be sharing and referring you and referring your business.
All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the episode. I hope you got a lot of value out of this, but my biggest encouragement is don't just be a listener. I need you guys to take action on these things. So pick at least 3 things that you're going to take action on immediately. Okay? We don't want to get stuck in the analysis paralysis and constantly studying. We want to put these things into action because that's how you're going to see results with building your clientele and building your business. Make sure to subscribe, like. I would love if you would share this with another esthetician friend, and then make sure to join us back next week.